an immediate ballot concern right now, and that is the 5 things that are on the ballot that are confusing everyone. So we have, and one thing about Iowa Colony is that everybody, we seem small, but everybody's ballot is different. You can have a ballot that's different from somebody that's 2 streets over from you. There are 5 things on that ballot that are extremely important. 3 of them have to deal with mud, which personally, no. If you see it, vote no, because essentially MUD is asking for more money to pay for services that they technically did not deliver on. And so you are paying MUD for a loan that they took out years ago. You are paying the city now for doing the services that the MUD didn't do. And now the MUD is coming back and asking you not only to vote yes for $70 million, another $70 million loan that they're going to take out for services that they're going to be doing in new developments. So you pay in 3 times. They want you to pay 3 times, and the language in it says with no cap on taxes to recoup the money for the loan. That's not wisdom. Nobody knows what's going on. That's the first big thing. The other 2 things on the ballot that are of concern is the MDD and then the ESD. The MDD is something, and that's, I've seen people trying to confuse it with the MUD. MDD is us giving the money that like McDonald's and all them people are paying to come do business here, and you got to deal with their traffic. The money and the taxes that are going to go on that, we want to say yes and keep that money in the city. So you want to say yes for MDD. You want to keep that money in the city. Then when you have the ESD, that's one that personally, I think there is a level of miscommunication between like our fire and safety people and then our city council. I think it is a tomato kind of thing. And my concern is that for citizens, because we got to vote on it in less than 30 days, we need to understand so we make an informed choice. It's really not about picking the sides. It's about understanding what's going on with it. So what's happening with the ESD is that there's money that you already paid to Brazoria County Emergency Services, and they deal with all the emergency services in the county. And so you're paying the ESD, and when you think about like our fire chief, they're like, oh, ESD built our fire station and they fund us. Well, they do, but we spent the money there. We sent the money to that spot. And so, there's a little bit of a disconnect here on what really needs to happen. And so I believe one of the things that is extremely important and that I personally have been trying to have endeavored to facilitate some information on, spoke with the fire chief last night, going to be at the council meeting on Monday, have been trying to build a bridge with our council members. Councilman Varlack, who you know is a walking encyclopedia of knowledge and information. Every time he opens his mouth, you're going to know what's going on, just to understand what's going on so we know what to vote for. So that's my spiel there.
Thank you. Thank you very much for that answer. For candidate Brooks, same question. Iowa Colony is growing. What are your plans to mitigate the transition of growth?
Okay. So it's a couple of things because we focus on, it's 3 call outs for me. You have the traffic, that's one. I think we need to understand how that really works. I noticed today, Councilman Boyce posted something from the mayor, that's his role to facilitate this conversation through our representatives to text DOT to get accountability for the status of what they're doing with the roads. So for instance, over here at Davenport, you have this bridge. Now I got a high schooler. This area going to school in the morning with all the traffic. What'll happen is people either go down Sierra Vista or they come here on 288 and then they hurry up and speed and try to take that little loop to get to the high school. It's extremely dangerous, especially for new drivers. It is not okay. So that TxDOT bridge, we need accountability there. That is, and our mayor is already actively, literally as we speak, I saw today, he's actively engaging the right way to do it, to give voice to us. And we need to understand how those things work as citizens, what that goes. The second thing is, which as far as schools concerned, the second thing is infrastructure. Now, my superpower is around lies in digital equity and the digital economy. In 2021, there was an infrastructure investment, the Investment Infrastructure Job Aids Act. that the Biden administration put out. It is already in progress and play, but essentially what happened is that results in an influx of billions of dollars into individual states to build their infrastructure first. There's two parts. The BEAD part is building their infrastructure for broadband access and accessibility and the strength of it. And then the second part of that is where we're building up the digital economy that deals with digital equity. Now, a lot of those things are in play coming down the pipe right now. As a city, we have multiple opportunities and entities to tap into those monies, to tap into those billions as entities, from city hall to companies that are laying broadband to roads, as long as it can be tied into something that ultimately increases or enhances our digital economy and our access, we can qualify as an entity. And so there needs to be a bridge that's built as an entity, because we need to understand a lot of that information, a lot of that money, again, infrastructure, job aid, infrastructure, investment, jobs. That's what the money is all about. We need to tap into it.
Thank you, candidate Brooks. Question: what are your plans regarding open spaces, restaurants, public libraries, and family-friendly event?
So a couple of things piggybacking on the parks and open spaces, that is keeping developers accountable for what they have done, and then or what they're doing, and then maintaining that parks plan and making sure we revisit it. The second thing is really about providing support to the Planning and Zoning Committee. The Planning and Zoning Committee is uncompensated. That commission is unpaid. Uncompensated is people that are bringing their minds together to do that. There is support that is needed there. That is a lot of work. The growth has the growth is just beyond. We know what the growth is. There's support that's needed there, because those are the individuals that help bring in and plan out this city. They help commission those things. In addition, we likely need a city planner, because that's a professional position. You have a city has a city manager, a city has a city planner, and then they're able to use a commission to support and hold them accountable for the job that they do, instead of having people doing it for free 99 out of passion. No. Yeah, that's it. And then the third thing is really the restaurants and entertainment. That goes back to our MDD. That is why that is important to say yes, because we have, if you're coming, I appreciate the McDonald's. We don't need another pizza place. But if you're going to come over here and put another pizza place, we need that money so that we can do some other stuff and bring something else over here. Because personally, I'd like some Chinese takeout. I just don't want, I'm tired of the pizza. But there a Chick-fil-A, something. So, that's that MDD is extremely important there. And then when it comes to the libraries and learning spaces, again, for me, that a lot of that can be funded from digital equity. When you look at right now, mainly library systems are the most people in position to get loads of digital equity money, because all digital equity is about is access to things that get delivered over the internet. So whether that's telehealth, whether that is working remote, whether that is workforce development or a job or training, if it comes over the internet, whether it's social media or content development, that is money. It's considered digital equity. So your library and any other learning space, they're right in point in line to get those money. So that's those four things are how I envision and see the priorities and the plans for our development.
Awesome. Thank you, candidate Brooks.